Hey guys, what's happening? It's Overbite Gaming back here to talk about a particular subject today, which if you've read the title card and not been a blind person, you will know exactly what that is, and that is the new Google Stadia that has been announced.
And Lee's had immense trouble remembering that name.
I want to call it Arcadia for some reason. I think that would be a better name for a games platform.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Google, pay me money.
Maybe they want it stadium connected rather than arcade.
I don't want someone to see me be shit at Bloodborne.
So I don't know. Anyway, but yes, the news has come out recently. Probably not by the time this video comes out; it'll be a few weeks in the past. But we obviously had the news that Google has announced its new gaming platform and method of consuming gaming media. Much that there's not going to be any console. You're just going to contact some kind of cloud computing service that's going to give you the gaming experience directly to you through your browser, which is a bit like in the future thinking, isn't it? Like,
well, porn has been doing this for a while.
What?
Delivering games via browser.
True, but not in the AAA, like, complete other end of gaming requirements. I'm thinking you're probably looking at choice and dialogue and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, and rubbing.
But yeah, so I mean, they did a test. Was it last year with Assassin's Creed?
Yeah,
to try and stream it through these different devices. And the idea is good in concept, but it does have a few drawbacks. It basically, the whole setup is going to be, you're going to have a controller that can directly link to your Wi-Fi router, and your game is, all the work is done in the cloud, and it will stream the responses back to your browser screen.
So the same sort of streaming game service that's been attempted several times before. But
it sounds like it's a little bit more sophisticated, just in the idea.
Well, if there is a company that could pull it off, you would hope Google would be the one.
Like when they tried social media. Google Plus or Google Minus, is it now?
Yes. Everybody's trying to put that behind us. Just don't pick at the wound.
But I have to say, it's an intriguing concept because it would free up the ability to game anywhere, would remove the hardware problem of having to update hardware both on PC and getting new consoles every couple of years. So it does make sense that all that stuff can be done over there. Pricing is nothing anywhere near being known about.
Sony are going to firebomb the Google offices.
Well, the thing is, we are going to be moving towards a more digital presentation of games, and this is probably the not maybe the next step, but maybe the one after that. It seems like it's far from the future.
Yeah, the next step is removing physical media, which Microsoft are currently doing in their newly announced Xbox One S.
Yeah, because it needs some more letters on it.
Well, that's already the letters, and maybe it'd be like Xbox One S NDD.
No disk drive. Gotcha. But yeah, so as we're stood right now with the news we have about Google Stadia, there's been like a press conference, that's all we know, and kind of the arty-farty trailer for it, which I'll probably put behind us anyway. But no, it's not there, Lee. We've been doing this for years. You know there's nothing there right now.
Well, you point, I look. I can't help it. Damn it!
So we basically have very limited information, but we do know that it could be completely disruptive to the whole industry, purely because, I mean, if you don't need a console, you can get the games just from streaming it. That's great. However,
he wants the opposite argument.
That was giving it to you. Come on.
Well, I have a couple of reservations. Obviously, internet isn't reliable in a lot of the world yet. Some places are metered and can only do it for a certain amount of hours. Other places just have really poor internet, and some places don't have internet at all.
And what happens if it does crash? You know, in terms of a connection. Sometimes your connection was under maintenance, or you know, your ISP would decide to turn it off for a maintenance period.
Or you've just moved and are setting it back up again.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these kind of problems they'll have to navigate around. The controller is just a PS4 controller, from what I can look at it.
Looks
same
similar.
Dimensions and places for things. I mean, let's be honest, that's been probably refined so much that there's only a couple of tweaks you can make without a controller being useless.
Yes, the only tweak I would make to the PS4 controller is turn it into an Xbox One controller.
I kind of agree. I mean, for long-term play, the Xbox One is more comfortable for the hands. But I don't mind either. They're fine. Absolutely fine.
Okay, problem the second with it is latency. Obviously in...
Which they're saying there isn't going to be any.
Well...
Or be a problem.
Yeah, that really isn't up to them, though, is it?
Again, it depends on where you are, how far you are away from your ISP or your exchange.
Yeah, I mean, because you've got it doubled when it comes to games. It's okay to have latency when you're streaming video, for instance, because if it starts a few seconds after you've pressed the button, no problem. But like if you press up on a joypad, it has to send that signal to the server, then receive the response back from the server, and then do the action on the screen. So you're doubling your latency issues.
I don't know how. It must be a way to work with it, otherwise they wouldn't be going forward with it.
Well, they've tried. There have been a few streaming services already existed, and they couldn't get past it. But as I said, it's Google.
And you have to think this isn't out now. This is going to be something they're going to release. So I don't like particularly the name of it, Stadia. It isn't catchy enough.
It sounds like a venereal disease.
It just sounds like a wallpaper. Like, I don't know why. It just doesn't have that grab. I mean, it might be if. I don't know, like, just something that had a bit more oomph to it, because Stadia just sounds a bit weak.
And, like, what games are going to be on it? Are we going to have, like... Because they're saying they'll push it to all platforms, so cell phones, tablets, PCs, just smart TVs, I guess. But, so what games? Are they going to have to license all the different games for it? Are they going to have exclusives? Or are they just going to push out, like, Android content, like the Ouya or something?
What's going to happen if you get a browser update that suddenly means your games don't work? That happens.
Well, hopefully you'd be using Google Chrome, so hopefully they would be aware of the update.
But is it just through Chrome, or they're suggesting you can use any browser?
I think it's just through Chrome. Why wouldn't they just say, yeah, it's going through Chrome? Chrome's free, it's ours.
Again, I don't know if that's been actually said. It's only through Chrome.
No,
but I mean, Chrome does update naturally and natively, so obviously they're in control of that one. But what if there's a problem? You can't play games, so they fix it. That seems a bit rough.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you've played Anthem, then you have problems as well on PS4.
Yeah,
and that's nothing to do with Sony.
We actually didn't mention that in our review.
We did not, no, but we have mentioned it on the podcast. So for you eager listeners, go back and listen to all of our podcasts. The 3 from this year and like the 4 from the last 3 years.
Yeah, they don't care about those. But today we're talking about Stadia, and I think that it's an interesting thing to be going on in the gaming industry. It might shake a few things up. I'm still going to be a fan of physical media as well as digital, where it works for me. I love having Blu-rays, for example. I don't necessarily like streaming films. I like to have it so I can always watch it.
No, I am a much bigger proponent of like streaming films and having digital libraries. But when it comes to games, I'm fine with digital versions, but I don't want to be streaming it.
No, I want to have, if I'm paying for each individual game, I want to be able to play that game when I want to. But again, we know the situation, everything's going to a live service, blah, 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 blah.
So even if you have the disc, there's no guarantee you'll still be able to play the game.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe we're just going to be forced into that. I don't know how I feel about Stadia. I think it could be a good thing. If it's good for the consumer and it gives you a bit more freedom to be able to game where you want to game, and not be tied into, okay, I've got my phone on me so I can only play mobile games, but my phone's got a decent connection with data on it. I can play my AAA games and my kind of bigger game titles through that. Great.
Yeah, but would you want to on a cell phone?
Well, why not? If it's a game that's okay to be done
like on-screen controls.
Well, like on the Switch. I mean, I know it's a bigger screen, but on the Switch you can have.
The Switch has physical controls though.
Yeah, but why not carry around some controls that go with it?
So you got to take your cell phone and a controller. It sort of gets to the point where you're bringing around like a mini game library anyway.
It's fine if you're only streaming it. It's fine. No problem at all. I mean, I think that the Switch is something that works quite well as a portable console. Lots of people use it on the train and things like that. So
yeah, I do.
You don't go on the train though?
I've been on trains.
You have been on a train?
I have been on more than
You've
one
heard
train.
it here first, folks. Lee has been on a train.
I've been made to go places.
To hell and back.
It felt like it.
Yeah, but that's our thoughts on Stadia. We'd love to hear what you think about this. Purely because it's right now it's such a new story. We don't know what to make of it. So I'd like to hear what you think down in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we've seen this sort of thing before, but we've never had a company as big as Google try and do it. So it's kind of an unknown question. It's like we've had a few guys in this country and just try and do streaming game services and not do well. But when you've got the oomph of Google's money and their technology behind it, it could be different. So yeah, I think it's going to be a case of waiting and see.
Absolutely. So, do you think it's going to be the death for consoles? Do you think it's going to be another flop, like Google Plus? Do you think do you have any thoughts about the general streaming of games over digital and physical media that we currently have? Let us know down in the comments, please. I want to hear what you think about this one. It's a biggie.
Let's break open your brain case and spill the contents below, fair children.
Like that.
That'd be more like...
Or maybe a slight dribble out the nostril. I don't know. However you want to do it.
Oh no, most of our users come through desktops.
But guys, we have videos coming out every Wednesday and Saturday, so if you want to come back for some awesome content, you can do.
And if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, especially with the taking the mick out of me and the brain scooping things, please comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell, and give us a thumbs up for me being a prick.
I'd enjoy that. Let's get at least 10, at least.
10 thumbs up, and I'm a prick. There you go. Otherwise, he's wrong.
I'm going to be creating at least 12 accounts after this. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.